If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I blow it up. I blow it up. I blow it up. I trade Jaren Jackson Jr. and I trade Ja Morant, especially if you can't go out there and get a Kevin Durant. And we here. Or should I say I'm here? Hey, look, special edition of Road Trippin. Damn it, hit the subscribe button. Look, Richard, Shannon enjoying Father's Day. Allie probably working the many jobs that she do, but damn it, I'm here, Big Perk today on this Sunday edition. And I got some things I got to get off my chest, but we got some things we got to also talk about. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100K by the end of the finals. Damn it, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, here's the thing. We had breaking news, right? I guess you want to call it a blockbuster trade. Let's start there. The Memphis Grizzlies traded Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic. Look, I'm all in for it. I'm all in for it if you're the Orlando Magic. I think it's a hell of a pickup. When you think about what they have over there in Bancaro, he's a rising young superstar in the making, right? And you think about the spacing that Desmond Bane can provide, the shooting, not a defensive liability, so he's going to fit the culture. But I'd be damned if I would have gave up 4 unprotected picks. I mean, damn. I don't believe they got that much for Drew Holiday with the Boston Celtics. Like, that's a lot of picks. So Desmond Bane, look, he is a great addition. I applaud the Orlando Magic for going all in, right? Especially with the Eastern Conference being wide open next year. We don't know what's going to happen. Well, we do know the Boston Celtics might not be there because of the injury of Jason Tatum. They got some things they have to figure out this summer. We get all that. But 4 unprotected picks, it better work. It better work. Now you got KCP. You got Cole Anthony heading to Memphis. Makes 0 sense to me, right? Makes 0 sense to me. It's 2 things. One, Memphis is either going to flip those picks and bring in something or try. Maybe they come into the 100 trying to go get a Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Or maybe they needed to make cap space to pay Ja and to pay Jaren Jackson Jr. But here's the thing. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I blow it up. I blow it up. I blow it up. I trade Jaren Jackson Jr. and I trade Ja Morant, especially if you can't go out there and get a Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo. I get it. Ja is a special talent, generational talent. Jaren Jackson Jr., borderline all-star, but those 2 guys are not going to win you a championship by themselves, right? It's just not. It's just not. The proof is in the pudding. Jaren Jackson Jr., he disappeared every time the big moment when it matters the most. Can't stay out of foul trouble. We could go down the list of things. Ja Morant, we know he's a generational talent. But at the end of the day, history has tells us like he's always injured, can't stay afloat. Here's the thing. I will break it up if I'm Memphis. I will break it up. If I'm Ja, I want out. If I'm Ja, I want out. Ja could go somewhere and definitely help somebody be a title contender. And look, this is just the start of the trades. I'm hearing the Charlotte Hornets, we might need to keep an eye on them, like up all the way through the draft. They might be moving on from LaMelo Ball. I'm hearing that. Yeah, they might be moving on from LaMelo Ball. No, it sounds crazy, but this draft is gonna be a lot of trades, a whole lot of trades. KD, Kevin Durant. It's time for Kevin Durant to get to a place where he could actually call home. And why I say call home is because I'm going to start here. The best place for Kevin Durant is the Houston Rockets. Why? The Houston Rockets, they have the pieces to give up, to put a package together, and they also could give up a lot while keeping a lot to make them contenders. They finished number 2 in the West last year. So they're not far off. They just re-signed Big Steven Adams, which I think was a great signing. You do whatever you need to do to figure out the situation with Fred VanVleet. The only two people that's untouchable is Şengün and Amen Thompson. right? So you package a Jabari Smith, a Jalen Green, a Cam Whitmore, and some picks, and you bring in Kevin Durant with Ime Udoka, you got some action there. And if you're KD, you want to get to the H-Town. You want to be able to go play with a coach that you know, that you love, and that you respect, and a coach that's going to hold you accountable, and you're not going to give him no pushback. Here's the thing why I worry about KD. I'm looking at Kevin Durant right now, and yes, in my eyes, the greatest scorer to ever touch the damn basketball. People can say what they want. I know Braun got 50 billion points. I know Kareem got 30 billion points with a sky hook. I get all that. Jordan, Kobe, I get. But when you talk about 6'11", 7 foot, 0 flaws, always 50, 40, 90, has no flaws offensively, Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer of all time. Top 15 greatest player in my eyes, just keeping it real. But the problem is this. I don't know where's Kevin Durant basketball home at. Like, you look at all the superstars, right, that's retired. You look at a Charles Barkley, right, his basketball homes, the Philadelphia 76ers or the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, we know Jordan is tied to the Chicago Bulls. Hell, we can even say the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat retired his jersey, so that might be his home as well, right? You look at Kobe, obviously he's tied to the Lakers, spent his entire career over there, God bless his soul. Shaq, right, the Orlando Magic, the Los Angeles Lakers. When it's all said and done, which one of these organizations, when you think about it, is going to have a statue of Kevin Durant? Is it going to be Oklahoma City? I don't think so. I don't know if they could ever mend their relationship. I don't know if Mr. Clay Bennett, by the way, who's one of the best owners in today's game. I mean, in today's league, I love him to death. Sam Presti, they felt some type of way when KD bounced. So I don't know if he's going to have a statue out there in Oklahoma City. He should, but I don't think it's going to happen, right? He still haven't got that standing ovation when he returns home. Excuse me, it's hot in here, I'm sweating. But look, he still hasn't got that standing ovation. The people ain't really rocking with him. Okay, let's move on. Golden State. Is Golden State his home? I know he delivered 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, but does that really feel like the crib for KD? KD the one that stopped the trade now. Like, Golden State wanted to get KD at the trade deadline. KD didn't want to go back to Golden State. So that should tell you enough in itself. We want to go down to the Brooklyn area, when you talk about one of the biggest busts in franchise history, when you talk about the big three and Kyrie Irving, James, and Kevin Durant. And it wasn't KD's fault. KD stepped up and he performed, right? The others just didn't fulfill their obligations, and it was just a mess all over again. But still, they didn't deliver, right? They didn't deliver. So now we get to Phoenix. You have a big three there, and Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. And I get it. First year was a trial run. They needed to add some pieces, and they added those pieces in the second year. And the Suns were actually great with Kevin Durant in the lineup to start the season, but KD got injured, and then all of a sudden we see, the beef going on and the tension between the coaches and Bradley Beal in and out of the starting lineup. That became a disaster. By the way, while he was there, two championship coaches fired. Frank Vogel and Mike Budenholzer. Back-to-back years. Kevin Durant has to go somewhere where he could have a push, have the culture, and make a run at winning the NBA championship so he could have a place when it's all said and done that's going to appreciate him, and that he's going to appreciate them where he could call his basketball home. And I think that needs to be the Houston Rockets. I think he needs to go to the Rockets. I think that puts them over the hump. If you look at where the Rockets struggled this past season, they were one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league. Kevin Durant, check. He fills that void. They needed a closer. They took Golden State to 7 games. They thought it could have been Jalen Green. He wasn't ready for the moment, but Kevin Durant, check, fills that void. And you still have the pieces to compete. Here's another topic we need to address. Okay? We're going to the New York Knicks. Going to the New York Knicks. Just when you think the New York Knicks were finally finding their fucking themselves, the culture, the foundation, hell of a run to the Eastern Conference Finals, what do? They jumped the gun. They jumped the gun. Malpractice at its finest, right? Not having a plan in place. See, let me tell you something. When you come off a postseason full of emotions, like the New York Knicks did, you gotta take time, man. 2 weeks, 2 weeks max, right? To have player meetings and addressing situations, because you know why? Because emotions are high. They were pissed off. They thought they should have been in the NBA Finals. They thought they should have beat the Pacers, right? But they made it to the conference finals. But it wasn't Tom Thibodeau's fault that Karl Anthony Towns couldn't defend, right? It wasn't his fault. He got picked on every single time down the floor in the pick and roll. It wasn't Tom Thibodeau's fault that Jalen Brunson was getting scored on 68% of the time. Tom Thibodeau, in his 5 seasons there, took the Knicks to 4 playoffs in those seasons. 4 times they went to the postseason. If you're going to fire Tom Thibodeau, you gotta have a plan in place. You gotta have somebody that you already been talking to that, hey, you know it's gonna slide right in that spot. What do the Knicks do? Jump the gun, have player meetings, and the players so-called allegedly was disappointed in Tibbs. They didn't want Tibbs back. All of a sudden they jumped the gun, they fired Tibbs. Okay, I'm like, well, what you got in place? Now you're trying to visit with other people, coaches. You're requesting permission to go talk to J. Kidd. Why would J. Kidd leave Dallas to go to New York? I'm just saying. You got J. Kidd is set up perfectly, right? When you talk about being able to compete for a championship right now, with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, because Kyrie gonna be back. Listen, Kyrie gonna be back. This is not like the 1990s or early 2000s with an ACL injury. Guys come back 5 or 6 months, he's gonna be ready to play. You got Anthony Davis, you got Derek Lively, you got Darren Gafford. That front court in itself is gonna do numbers and win a whole lot of games for the Dallas Mavericks. And then you get lucky and get fucking Cooper Flag, because they taking Cooper Flag. Now all of a sudden you got Cooper Flag, if you J. Kidd, that ain't even 20 years old yet, that now you're built for now and the future. So now Cooper Flag could come in and there's no pressure on him to be that guy. He can actually grow and learn how to be that franchise guy while still going out there at the third option and putting up numbers and being impactful to help them win a championship. Right? 6'9", 6'10", two-way player. He's young, but he has an old soul. J. Kidd made the right decision. I don't want to keep hearing the reports about mutual interest. J. Kidd better stay his ass in Dallas, and I believe he will. Then you go to Ime Udoka and the Houston Rockets. Think the Rockets goes, please. Ime Udoka is one of the best coaches in the game. There's no way in hell you're getting permission to talk to Ime Udoka. The Rockets shoot that down ASAP. No, we ain't doing all that. So now the Knicks are stuck. You have Michael Malone that's out there because you can't bring in a young coach at this point in time. You got to bring in a coach that's going to be neutral but also has championship experience. So you have Michael Malone out there. Obviously, we haven't heard reports, so it's probably not interest there for whatever the case may be. So now I'm hearing Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. I like Taylor Jenkins, but I don't love him. He's not the fit for New York. You got to have a certain type of personality in a coach to go and coach in the Big Apple. I'm sorry, it's the biggest market, in my opinion, in the game of basketball, in the NBA. It's the Mecca. Right? You got to be able to have a coach that's going to be, relatable. Tibbs got personality now. Tibbs do got personality. Now, he old, but he got personality. Here's the thing. If you're going to go get somebody, if it's between those two guys, you got to go get Mike Brown. I don't believe Mike Brown should have got fired from the Sacramento Kings, but that's a whole nother story. They've been a disaster over the last, 10, 20 years. Think about what they done. Traded away De'Aaron Fox, traded away Tyrese Halliburton. Now Tyrese Halliburton sitting up here playing in the fucking finals right now. So I don't even want to get into the Kings. But if you bring in Mike Brown, a guy that has had success, meaning as a top assistant with the Golden State Warriors, he won a championship, so he knows what it's like to be able to coach and have that balance. When you have a guy like Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, right? Then all of a sudden, you know he fell from the tree of the San Antonio Spurs. So he's been around Tony Parker. He's been around fucking Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and mentored under the best coach that's ever stepped foot on the basketball floor, Greg Popovich. You bring in Mike Brown. Now Mike Brown, but it has to be the support. He has to have the full support from the front office, because here's why this job is interesting. See, people don't want to understand it, and well, here's the thing. People don't understand the history with the Knicks, right, and their front office and Karl Anthony Towns. This is why I say whatever coach they hire, Leon Rose, World Wide West, needs to make sure that they give that coach like stability and like security that he could go in and coach because of the relationship that they have with Karl Anthony Towns. They go back to the Kentucky days. I'm going to say this. I knew Tom Thibodeau was going to get fired if they didn't win the Eastern Conference Finals when he benched Karl Anthony Towns in the game 2 in the fourth quarter. I said to myself, and I said it on TV, if they lose this series, Tom Thibodeau is out because of the relationship. Cat is in New York because he go back like 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago when they was recruiting him to go with John Calipari. That like Leon Rose and World Wide West, like they like uncles to him. So you got to bring in a coach that's going to be able to hold him accountable, especially on the defensive side of things. Also, I knew that they couldn't go get Jay Wright because for the simple fact, you got to have balance. You don't want to feel like you're bringing in a coach that's going to be playing favoritism to the Nova Knicks, to Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. So you bring in Mike Brown. Mike Brown is able to coach that team. Mike Brown is able to coach that team, hold guys accountable on the defensive side of things. But again, we shouldn't even be having this conversation because the Knicks shouldn't even be in this position because Tom Thibodeau didn't deserve to lose his damn job. Now all of a sudden they trying to scramble, they trying to fix now. Is Mike Brown an upgrade from Tom Thibodeau? Hell no. Again, if you're going to replace Tom Thibodeau, then it's supposed to be a Beyonce move, an upgrade. That is not an upgrade, but that's the best candidate that's out there, obviously, because they're not checking for Michael Malone right now. That's a problem. Get to these NBA Finals for a second. The NBA Finals has been everything and more. To the people out there that's criticizing and saying, oh man, the ratings are down and well, you just don't like fucking good basketball. Because right now, what we're witnessing is two great teams that done it the right way. Two great teams that done it the right way. You think about the Indiana Pacers, they're not in the luxury tax, right? Built from ground up, traded for Tyrese Halliburton, kept Miles Turner, had a vision, signed Pascal Siakam, maxed him out, had belief in him for what he could do as a champion, know how they wanted to play. Rick Carlisle knocking at the door of being a top 10 greatest coach ever, because if he pull this off and win this championship, that's 2 championships under his belt that are 2 of the greatest championships in the history of the NBA. With the Mavs in 2011 and then this Indiana Pacer team. They were the underdogs in every damn series. No one expected them to be here, including myself. Excuse me, hold on. Including myself. So here's the thing. Pacers built, draft, traded well. Aaron Nesmith then turned into a hell of a 3-and-D guy, right? You got the Canadian killer and Nembhard, who disappears the entire regular season and all of a sudden just turned into a superstar in the postseason when it matters the most. We're watching him go back and forth with SGA, the MVP in the league, right? You get OB Toppin in the trade for the Knicks. I believe they got a second-round pick. They traded them for a second-round pick or something to that nature. Maybe 2, I don't know. I don't have the facts in front of me. OB Toppin is balling at the moment. You got Ben Mathurin that you drafted. And now all of a sudden, you're in a series in the NBA Finals tied 2-2. Then you look at OKC side, the team that set up the best for the next 10 years, in my opinion. You got SGA, who's the best perimeter player in basketball. Yes, best perimeter player in basketball. You have him, the MVP, the league leading scorer, right, that's going to be around for a long time, who's just knocking at the door of his prime. If he win this championship, by the way, we got to go ahead and have that uncomfortable conversation about him being the best player in the league. Make no mistake about it. Being the best player in the league. If you look at what he's done over the last 3 years, averaging 30, 3 straight years in a row, shooting over 50%, I think there's no argument there. He got to complete the mission. Go ahead and win it. Finals MVP. Your series tied up. You should take it home. You got to win 2 games, and 2 out of 3 games, and 2 of them on your home court. Then you draft Then you draft Chet Holmgren, right? You draft J-Dub, Jalen Williams, who, by the way, hold on. And producers, don't edit this because I'm in here steaming. It's hot. But I want you to keep it real because I want to keep it authentic. J-Dub, Chet, SGA had a legacy moment the other night in Indiana, Game 4. Must-win situation. And when your stars, your young rising superstar in SGA supposed to deliver and take over, they did that, and they did that in great fashion. But when you think about Sam Presti and how he has all these damn picks, right? But he's also set up now to win. So you're looking at, those 3 guys, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins. By the way, Aaron Wiggins was a fucking second-round pick. He won them a game in Game 2 at the crib, came off the bench. He wasn't on my bingo card, but that just goes to show you the eye of Sam Presti. And if Sam Presti say, guess what? If they don't win it this year, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti not only have the bodies, but he have the assets for us the picks that he actually could go make a move and try to go get a Giannis Antetokounmpo. He could try to go get a Giannis because the Bucks are looking and say, hey, we'll take a Chet Holmgren. We'll take 5 or 6 of those picks, throw in a Cason Wallace maybe. We'll take that for a Giannis Antetokounmpo. So when you look at both of these teams, the Pacers, and you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they did it the right way. No shortcuts, no cheating the system, no trying to form a big 3, no going over the luxury tax, and they're here competing at a high level on both ends of the floor. 2 great teams with great depth competing at its highest level, and if you're a real student of the game and a real fan of the game, you appreciate this shit like I do. This is a hell of an NBA Finals. I don't give a fuck what the Finals ratings are saying or whatever. If you're a student of the game and a basketball fan, you're loving what you're seeing right now. Here's the last thing before I let y'all go. First of all, I ain't tell the world Happy Father's Day out there to everybody, you know what I'm saying? All the fathers out there holding it down. Richard, Shannon, Happy Father's Day to y'all. I'm expecting my gift in the mail here shortly. If it don't get here today, I know it's Sunday. It's going to get here on Monday. I get that. Last but not least, here's the thing, y'all. Let me give y'all some information. The draft is coming up. Probably a week and a half away. it's going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be a lot of movement. I'm telling y'all right now, and we're seeing the start of it with this Desmond Bane trade. It is going to be a lot of movement. The only pick that we know that's for sure is the Dallas Mavericks. We don't know what the Spurs are going to do with the number 2 pick. We don't know if they're going to trade down. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be a lot of movement. Last but not least, let me say this. If you're Giannis, he's already knocking it. He's already, in my opinion, top 5 greatest power forward of all time. I believe Giannis Antetokounmpo is 1 championship away, 1 finals MVP away from being the 2nd greatest power forward behind Tim Duncan. Straight up. Straight up. 1 championship, 1 finals MVP away. I get the loyalty part. I understand that. I get that. I get the loyalty part. Here's the thing what I'm telling y'all. Excuse me. Giannis is to the point where I believe championships, because he's going to get his money. He's marketable. Any team he go to, go back the Brinks truck up. They're going to back it up. Giannis need to get somewhere where he can win a damn championship. I get it. He's loyal. But he has done every single thing that he possibly could have done for the organization of the Milwaukee Bucks and the city. And the city. Because if you looked at the city before Giannis got there, and this no shade on Milwaukee, they didn't have all that shit they got. They got a new arena. You see all the damn restaurants. You see all the businesses booming and stuff. That's the effect of a Giannis Antetokounmpo. If I'm Giannis, listen to me. I know you like young guys with the same mentality as you. You don't want to shortcut nothing. You might want to consider going play with that boy Cade Cunningham down there in Detroit. I'm telling you right now, that would be a problem. The East is wide open. We know the Pacers are going to be around. We get that. The Cavs, we're expecting them to come back with some type of mission. That's what we expect. We expected a lot out of them this year, but they didn't do a damn thing. They got bounced out. If I'm Giannis, I'm seriously considering going to Detroit. Detroit is back on fire. Great basketball city. A lot of culture. And you have a rising young superstar. A rising young superstar in Cade Cunningham. Giannis and Cade in Detroit, with all this going on, we don't know. Like, come on now. We talk about moving the needle. Like, that puts them right there in the championship conversation. They become legit title contenders if Giannis Antetokounmpo goes to Detroit. But he got to want to go there. And Cade got to take that leap. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to put your pride aside. If you don't already have Giannis' number, you need to go out there and search. It's not hard to get. Ooh, big fella, what's up? Big fella, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, want you. What's happening? Ready to make it. It's a business. Cade, I get it. You young. You got a lot of special relationships with those guys in the locker room. But damn it, you're talking about Giannis. Damn it, you was the one a year ago talking about how miserable you were and how depressing it was to lose. Now you done got a taste of how it feels to win and be in the postseason. Imagine how it feels to get to the NBA Finals and win a damn championship. You could do that shit with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Get on the phone. Go be involved with that front office. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you no. Get Giannis down there in Detroit. It's your boy Big Perk, signing off on Road Trippin. Get it, I'm sweating. Damn it, I'm hot. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Going live tomorrow. Game 5 from OKC. We're going live. Make sure y'all tap in. It's going to be a movie tomorrow. It's going to be loud in that arena. Damn it, I'm going to be there. So we signing off. Boy Big Perk. See y'all tomorrow.